Go.
Hi, my name is Athena Jackson, and today I'm going to talk to you about healing sick sentences, specifically on how to teach students to choose more precise verbs in order to make their sentences much more effective. We have two learning goals for this mini lesson. The first goal is that you will be able to apply precise verb instruction to small groups in order to help them improve their writing. And the second goal is to perform a mini conference with the student in order to point out the issues with verbs and how to help them correct those problems. Now, when we teach students about the writing process, we usually teach them there are 5 steps. We have pre-writing, we have drafting, we have revision, editing, and publishing. Now, the emphasis on any one of those parts of the writing process really depends on the teacher, and it depends on what the student finds most valuable. Now, the most important part of the writing process is revision. I know for myself, if I write an essay, I will go through at least 4 to 5 drafts each essay. And this is something that has happened through my years through college. This wasn't something that I was taught in school. Now, as teachers, we need to prepare our students for college, and so emphasizing the revision process will be very important for them. A lot of students will draft, they will check their work for content issues or structural issues, they check some spelling, they check some punctuation, they think that's it. But of course we know that it's not it. There is a simple way, however, in a step in revision that can really improve students' writing, and that is choosing active and precise verbs. When speaking, people tend to use the to-be verb, is, are, was, were. And there's nothing wrong with this, but the thing about writing is that we have the opportunity to choose more precise verbs. Students don't know this unless we point it out to them. And this is something that we really need to show them, that their writing can be even more effective than it already is, even if their sentences are grammatically correct. Now, what I would start with is whole class instruction. And I would approach this by showing my students 3 sentences that all convey the same meaning, but they're written a little bit differently. So the first one says, Miss Jackson doesn't like it when people buy dogs. The second sentence says, Miss Jackson is against people buying dogs because of puppy mills. And the third sentence, Miss Jackson opposes the buying of dogs that come from puppy mills. Now, what I would do is have my students discuss these 3 different sentences. What's different about them? Which ones would be more appropriate for informal situations? Which one would be more appropriate for formal writing? As we can see in the first sentence, we have a contraction, doesn't, it's very casual. Your students should pick up on this. Now, what's a little bit more subtle is the second sentence. There's nothing really wrong with it, but we have this phrase right here, a verb phrase, is against. There is a better way, an easier way, shorter way to say this. We can use the verb opposes. And this is something that you need to point out to students. This is the difference between high school writing and college level writing. After doing an activity like this with students, I would divide them into groups, give each of them a whiteboard, just like that, and project a sentence on the smartboard, have each group with a verb list of active verbs, and have them try and rewrite the sentence to make it more formal and to use those precise verbs. After a couple minutes, you have the students share, the groups share their sentences, and you can repeat the process, give feedback, and eventually they'll start seeing how it is that they can change their sentences little by little. After our whole group instruction and small group activities, I would move on to individual conferencing. Now, an individual conference can happen at different parts in the writing process. The one that I'm going to demonstrate right now would be after students have already done 1 or 2 drafts. This would be after any type of structural or content issues have been resolved. Now, I'm going to have my student come over. Hi, Pablo. How are you doing?
Okay, good.
Good. So I was looking at the changes you made in this new draft, And I think there are some really great improvements. It flows very nicely. We fixed those little bit of structural issues that were going on. So today what I want to talk to you about is how we can make your writing go to the next level. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you something that I do with my own writing. Now, do you know what the to be verb is? To be or not to be? Yeah. The to be verb is, are, was, were. Those are some examples. There's nothing wrong with these verbs, but when we're writing, we have the chance to find some verbs that might be a little bit better, more precise. They convey your meaning a lot better. So what we're going to do is we're just going to actually go through your first page of your essay and circle any part that you see the to be verb. Okay, so we see it right here. If you see any other ones, go ahead and point them out. Good. Okay, here. Okay, good. Are, is, okay. And right here. Okay, great. It's a fast process. But we can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 to be verbs just in this one page. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but now that we're really trying to improve our writing to go to college, we need to look at these to be verbs and see if we can replace any of them. Okay? So I've actually taken a sentence out of Pablo's essay, and I've written it over here for everybody to see. It says, the character is the one who thinks the world might end. All right, Pablo. Here is our to be verb is, okay? I have underlined this whole phrase right here because we can replace this with one word. So I would, of course, provide Pablo with a list of active verbs, and here's some examples of active verbs that I would provide on the list for my students. Okay? Now, Pablo, I want you to look at this list, and I want you to see if any of these words might fit in here.
Predict.
Predicts, good. If I put in the word predicts right here, I can cross out that whole part. And now it says the character predicts that the world might end. And all we've done right here is we've taken out unnecessary words and we're conveying the same meaning. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to go through your essay and do the same thing we just did. Circle any of the to be verbs. You don't have to change all of them. Don't worry about that. I just want you to see if any of them can be replaced with an active verb. So I have a list right here for you. And what you're going to do is you're going to take this list and you're going to see if any of these would work better in your essay. All right?
All right.
Okay, can't wait to see your final draft. What's really important with the whole class instruction and with the individual instruction is that you provide the resources for the students. You need to either give them websites with verb lists, give them a printed list to keep in their binder. If you have an online class resource or if your students have individual laptops, provide something for them to refer to. Now, our learning goals at the beginning of our lesson were to apply precise verb instruction to a group activity to help students improve sentences. So we saw how we can start with the whole class instruction and then move to small groups, learn together how to improve sentences, give feedback, and just practice and practice and practice. Our second learning goal was to learn how to perform a conference in order to show students how to choose more precise verbs in their writing. So we have gone through both of those learning goals, and I hope you've taken away something important from this lesson. Thank you.